I don't want to get it twisted that anybody would possibly think that I'm a misogynist or anything like that. And even though most people can't properly define misogyny, it just gets thrown out there to anybody who criticizes women. But hey, I want to put two women on Front Street when it comes to this one and just give them big props out there, okay? A fitness influencer, Danni Levy. Girl's 38 years old and she's pregnant too, okay? And quite far along. You can't tell by the picture, at least by traditional metrics, okay? Because most of these broads that get out here and get pregnant, it's just licensed to eat and consume everything, and that they just end up after their pregnancy saying that, oh, it's just baby weight, looking like Jabba the Hutt and never really taking it off. It's not really baby weight when your kid's just graduating from college at this point. So just stop with the cope and put it in the, we're not past 30 seconds yet. Put in the work, okay? Now, having the degree that I have, exercise physiology, okay? I know what happens, especially when it comes to exercise and what pregnant women can do, okay? The exercises that they can do and how quickly they can get back into the gym post giving birth, okay? And other than she's being 38 years old, having a pregnancy, okay, I don't see anything wrong with what she's doing as well. Because again, gaining all of that additional weight is totally and completely unnecessary. Your body's obviously physiologically going to change in a few forms or fat in a couple of different ways. But the baby during its gestational period, okay, when you're creating life within your womb, that additional organism only needs a few hundred calories, okay? It doesn't need the big fucking bag of Cheetos right next to a jar of pickles or whatever the fuck you stupid bitches think that's licensed. Oh, I have cravings. Now, you just like the attention, make your, I would say husband, but knowing the fact that like 40% of kids are now born to a single mother. That's big facts, by the way. They just like the attention that's out there. Anyways, a British fitness influencer who is currently pregnant with her first child at 38 years. Okay, I got more red flags. I like I said, I just want to give credit to a couple of good women, at least ones that I respect, okay? Anyways, is currently 23 weeks pregnant and has been documenting her surprise journey to mother. Again, more questions, okay? After discovering she was expecting following fertility struggles. Well, you're 38 years old. It's not just going to happen like it would have if you were out there futzing around 15 years ago. The 38-year-old, who is also the editor of British Health magazine. That must be tough, considering all the restrictions that the government puts on, advertisement. That's just ludicrous. Anyways, following the strict training regimen, but has opened up about her fears she's faced as her body begins to change. My partner and I thought that we couldn't have kids, so it was a surprise. A very wonderful surprise, by the way. And that's her 16 weeks pregnant. Not bad, but Lord have mercy, that's so much makeup. Anyways, I found out I was pregnant at 7 weeks. I took a test after suffering sickness on a flight home from LA. I was happy, but I was also scared about the changes that would happen to my body. Oh, I love that type of insecurity. Anyways, Danni isn't alone. According to a Better Health Vic, many women can feel uncomfortable or experience anxiety as a result of the changes that happen to their bodies during pregnancy. Wow, imagine that when your hormones are just constantly in flux, when your physiology is changing in order to adapt to the creation of another life. It's pretty substantial, by the way, and a bunch of different physiological processes get shut down and others are changed as well. Like, we could go into a deep dive when it comes to that stuff, but I think you know if you need to know. It's more than just, well, yeah, when two parents love each other a whole lot, they place a call to the stork, and 9 months later, the baby just shows up on the doorstep. When in actuality, it's like, yeah, me and your father were just drunk one night, and he decided to, he tried to pull out and come on my face, neck, and chest, but I don't know, he got a little too drunk, and his pull-out game was a little weak, so here you are. Well, some pregnant women find it difficult to exercise for various reasons because they're fucking lazy. Danni has maintained her fitness routine by adapting to her workouts. She still follows a 2,000 to 2,500 calorie a day diet, but her candid attitude to pregnancy has resonated with her 100,000 Instagram followers. Yeah, man, I got a burner Instagram account. I shouldn't necessarily say that. That's just purely for research. Trust me, okay? You guys see it whenever we go on Instagram or anything like that. And it's just a black fucking square that's there. Not because it's for, oh my god, black people. But no, you just need it in order to do this type of work. I don't use it for any personal or nefarious reasons. I know that there's no receipts that I could show you to prove that. You just have to take my word for it. Anyways, I was scared I'd get fat when I feel pregnant. Her husband is a turbo Chad. I love it. She wrote on a recent Instagram post, I was scared I wouldn't be able to exercise well. Oh, I love it. I was scared I would not be able to enjoy decent food. However, she said all those fears were myths, and in her case, she's been able to keep active and feel her best since discovering she was expecting. Yeah, you can continue to lift. Here's just a little aside, okay, without going into a deep dive on this stuff. Like about up to a week before your due date, okay, you can continue to lift. It's totally fine, by the way, and you can do some light cardio and some light exercise leading up to the due date, and then within about 3 weeks of delivery or postnatal cycle, you can go right back into the gym, okay? Like there's no strict protocols around that. So again, there's a bunch of comforting lies that are told to women, okay, throughout all of society. And then when it comes to pregnancy, that's one of the biggest ones that are out there. Just going ahead and dispelling that one. Pregnant or postpartum women should do at least 150 minutes, for example, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensity aerobic physical activity per week, such as brisk walking during and after their pregnancy. There you go. It's best to spread this activity throughout the week. That's just according to CDC. But again, you take a look at somebody who's like this. I don't think that that's during her pregnancy, but fuck, she'll be doing a whole hell of a lot more than that. Guidelines vary for different stages of pregnancy and recovery. Not really. With benefits including lower risk of gestational diabetes, less back and pelvic pain, and reduced risk of incontinence. Yeah, exactly. That's what can happen if you aren't exercising as well. Danni said that she noticed the health benefits of keeping active during her own pregnancy. Yes, I know that this is all anecdotal, but again, when I was learning about this stuff, pretty much going to be the same types of talking points. Excuse me, ma'am, I know you have a proclivity for tiny bikinis, but those clothes are just obviously going to be way too small for you. Hill running and lifting keeps me healthy. Keeps me and my baby healthy. You're goddamn right. I think that's doing a little bit more than 150 minutes throughout the week of moderate intensity exercise. That's fucking great. Consistent exercise also helps me cope with chronic bladder pain and long working hours. Do what feels right for you. Well, let me tell you, staying in shape at 5 months pregnant is not a crime. It's not vanity. It's self-care. You're fucking right. Couldn't agree with her more. Fitness experts' honest posts about motherhood have clearly resonated, attracting hundreds of comments for expecting moms. You're like the new pregnant icon. Should be, but instead it's, oh my god, who's that one fucking beluga who ended up just giving birth and saying, I'll eventually bounce back. Okay, like I give big props to whatever fucking Kardashian sister that was, who the one who's fucking Travis Scott tried to get a ring out of him. It's so obvious, and that's what she's doing. But no, she was back in the gym, and then within like a couple of weeks, she was back to her pre-pregnancy weight, which is just, yeah, exactly. It's not that fucking difficult. You just need to do the work, okay? Stop using it as an excuse. I'm a new mother. You're dropping your kid off to kindergarten. Everybody around here is new mothers, so why do some of them look attractive and other ones look like they're cast in the new Star Wars spin-off? Nothing can stop this girl, another one remarked. Others pointed out Danni's bump was barely noticeable, despite the fact that she's entering her third trimester. Oh my god, Danni, you still look so ripped, one said. I'll look at that beautiful bump shaping your gorgeous baby. How exciting. Well, another one said, oh, I'm sorry. I should probably use the proper accent on this one. I'm marvelous at the same time. I can't believe it. I wish I looked like this now. Never mind when pregnant. You never ever can stop female solipsism. Okay, listen. You look great, fantastic, very inspiring, but I couldn't even look like this now. Yeah, of course not, because you're too busy scrolling Instagram to actually make a change in your fucking life. So big ups to this lady, Danni Levy. You're doing it right, and the fact that you're fit and healthy, it just goes to show you that the wall isn't concrete. It isn't set in fucking stone. She's 38, still looking tremendous, okay? And again, way outside of her normal fertility window, okay? It's obviously a very tough pregnancy for her, at least in a biological sense. Physiologically, none of this shit makes sense. It's very possible. It's something that you can do, okay? So what's your excuse? Get knocked up at 22, 23, 24, and then living a pre-diabetic life into your 30s and 40s. But I said that there's two women that I'm going to praise in this one, okay? And God help me, I should meet the quota for at least a week or two at this point, okay? Kari Lake. I like her a lot. I think that she's going to be a great governor of Arizona as long as, because I've seen some things about some election laws not being enforced for 2022, but regardless, okay, Arizona is definitely trending in one direction, and if she continues to go out there and stump with little zingers such as this, or she's going to be winning hearts and minds, because she already has the public notoriety, because again, she was on statewide broadcasts, statewide news programs, okay? prominent figure on the local Fox affiliates and a couple of the other affiliates as well, okay? People know who she is. And unfortunately for Katie Hobbs, people know who she is. Somebody who's ducking and covering and running away from debates, okay? Somebody who presided and made incredibly difficult the 2020 election. So anybody who just even seen that and was like, yeah, that's a little bit fucked up, okay? They're going to be more energized to turn out for Kari Lake, who has just been totally on point. I think the last time that we talked about her, I said that I think that she's even more charismatic than Ron DeSantis and has the propensity to do even a better job than Ron DeSantis. I stick by that endorsement. I don't know, it's kind of treacherous business to be doing that for a woman, but they aren't all the same. There are some outliers out there. I don't know, I'm making a bitched up argument by just pointing to the, extremes when it comes to this one, but so far, so good, okay? Just don't make a mockery out of this. Kari Lake points out media's contradiction after a reporter asks if she'd consider being Trump's running mate. Yeah, no, she has no desires in that, and she gave the best example possible. Arizona's Republican gubernatorial nominee, Kari Lake, called out the media's blatant contradiction Wednesday night when she was asked if she would consider being former President Donald Trump's running mate if he launches a 2024 campaign. It's only a minute and 20-second long clip, and feel free to watch it or something like that. And you can see her eloquence and her sharp retort. That's where I separate her from Ron DeSantis, because again, Ron DeSantis definitely came into his own, and he still is going to be a tremendous president someday. He just needs a little bit more cooking in front of the camera. But Kari, thanks to the fact that she was a journalist for so long, she has all the media training that's right there. And the fact that her policies and politics are so fucking based, it hurts. She's coming across like the complete package for anybody who cares about traditional values. If Trump were to tap you as VP, is this something you'd consider? A reporter asked the former Fox 10 Phoenix anchor. No, I hate. First of all, I don't like Washington, D.C., especially don't like it now, she said. For so long, many of you in the media have been trying to act like I don't have the skill to run for governor. Now, apparently, I'm so skilled that you think I should be vice president. I take it as a compliment, so thank you for asking. Another reporter followed up, wondering if she had talked to Donald Trump about it. I talk to President Trump all the time. The way that she shifts that, just these little things that are important, things that I pick up on, and you probably will too once they're pointed out to you. So, yeah, as the reporter says, have you talked to Donald Trump about it? And then she says, I talk to President Trump all the time. And I have not talked to him about that, so no. I'm applying for the job of Arizona governor, and I'm reaching out to the people every single day. Then she took aim at her Democratic opponent, Katie Blobbs. Where is Katie Hobbs right now? She should be standing right here, answering your questions. How often does she talk to you? If you're MSNBC, then maybe all the time. But if you want to ask her about pressing questions, she cowers, and she's a coward. I'm applying for a job. The people of Arizona are the hiring manager, and they are my boss. And I'm going to be here, much to the chagrin of some of you, not for 4 years as your governor. I'm going to be here for 8 years as your governor. So have some fun and get used to it, because we're going places, and we're going to have the greatest state in the country. What a fucking stinger. That is how you do it. That is holding frame. Something that many politicians couldn't even come close to that. Because again, that whole diatribe started off with, would you consider running as the Trump's running mate in 2024? No, I'm going to be here for 8 years, so suck it. That's what you want in a leader, okay? And that's something that is sorely lacking in male candidates that are around there. The rest of them would have capitulated. Well, if President Trump were to ask me to be the vice president, I would definitely consider it at this point. But as of right now, I'm running to be senator for the great people of... I just see a picture of Marco Rubio, and I just imagine that'd be how he would answer that fucking question, because he's such a loser. But no, Kari Lake knows exactly the reason that she's at the event that she was at, okay? She is trying to woo the attention, and that's what she puts first and foremost. We all know that it's a gubernatorial election between her and Katie Hobbs, but the way that she frames everything is fucking immaculate, okay? I'm applying for a job. The people of Arizona are my employers. I am trying to present the best policies that I think will resonate with the most amount of people, whereas my opponent will just talk to national media, okay? She will be talking to the insiders in Washington, D.C. by being on MSNBC instead of being here with the great people of Arizona. She said all of that stuff in different terms, okay? and held frame the entire time. On Wednesday, Lake and Hobbs participated in the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry Gubernatorial Candidate Forum. While both candidates fielded questions, they did not share the stage together, and Hobbs went first. How retarded. Like, just imagine being such a, I don't know, scared bitch and just thinks, "Oh, I'm just going to sit here and answer press questions and then just hurry and scurry off. I went first because I got a spot on Joy Reid." Nobody cares. When it was Lake's turn, she blasted her opponent for dodging debates and noted that she sent a letter to the Arizona Clean Elections Commission stating that we will not agree to the forum that her opponent wants added. She was doing that tonight. We need to be on stage together. We need to talk about our policies. Katie Hobbs understands that she would get absolutely fucking shredded by you, and that's why she continues to duck, dodge, dive, and dodge again. Away from any sort of public discussion because she would look like the child that she actually is. So we got a couple of empty chairs up here, and every time you look at a chair, I just think we should be filling that with our opponent here on the stage. But I digress. Hey man, big ups to Kari Lake for continuously putting the foot on the very sizable throat of Katie Hobbs. And of course, shout out to our 38-year-old pregnant lady who's in impeccable shape for being a good example for women. Wow, imagine that. A strong woman and excited about her pregnancy, okay? And keeping in good shape for her husband. And then another strong woman who holds frame and maintains her principles. But they don't get national coverage. Of course they won't. Because what they're talking about and what they're all about, nah, that is not exactly conducive to what society wants for women or for men out there in today's day and age. You should just accept your 300, 400-pound wife who's given birth to some kids that you will take away at a moment's notice, and you should support strong, independent women like Hillary Clinton. Otherwise, she's got a list. 34 names on there, and hey, don't worry, there's plenty of room for additional candidates. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.